everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Eve, this is Everyday Artist, and welcome, and this is Rogue who wants to go back to sleep. Hank is asleep over here, did you hear him? You okay? Yeah, I know, you wish I would go to bed, but I'm not going to. I am filming on Sunday night because, oh my God, last video my hair was so awful, and I was watching my video and went, oh. I don't normally care. If I'm going out somewhere, yeah, I'll comb my hair, but if I'm at home, who's going to look at me? And so I forgot to look before the video. But when I'm wearing my Tell Your Dog I Said Hi shirt, I have a lot of people that say hi to Rogue, so she's saying hi back. It is in the second half of May. Unbelievable. Rogue is the reason I'm filming on Sunday night, and I'll post this on Monday, but I have an appointment early tomorrow morning, and I just found out we have a showing tomorrow afternoon. Like, unless I want to be doing my video tomorrow night, you know, might as well just do it now while I have a minute. And it's literally a minute. Anyway, I'm showing you my stitching and some crochet, and of course my dog's. Well, the other dog's not mine, but you know, since he's with me all the time, he's mine. I have had some strange things yeah, let me start with the crochet. So I showed you my sock. Well, now I have more, the ball is in here, that's why it's all lumpy. More of the sock, but I tried it on. It's almost at the point where you make the ribbing for the top of the sock. And before I started turning the heel, I tried it on and it fit okay, but now it's binding on my foot right up here. So I did something wrong. And I think you have to do some increases after you turn the heel to come back toward the front. And I think I just didn't do enough, or didn't do them in the right spot, because it's actually just binding right there at this corner. And the thing is that her pattern says, you know, you're this many stitches, but I had to do more stitches than that in order to make the gauge that she gave us. So the sock fits on my foot, and I can actually put it on, but I'm supposed to decrease before I put the ribbing. And I'm like, if I decrease this, I won't be able to put it on and wear it comfortably. So rather than make it where I don't like it or just stop, what I'm going to do is go back and fix the error. And I may even contact the designer and say, okay, this is what's happening. What did I do wrong? How do I fix it? But fortunately with crochet, when you make a mistake, unlike stitching, with crochet you do this and you just pull it out and it comes out, and you can stick your needle in the hole where you want it to stop and just go like this. So it's not a big deal, and this is 1 week's worth of work, yes, but I'd rather take it out and fix the error so that I can pull it on my foot without it being binding anywhere. Because as it is, I don't like socks. I just like the idea of making a sock. So if I'm going to make a sock, even if I just wear them around the house as slippers when it's cold, I want it to be comfortable. And the only place it's not comfortable is right here on both sides. 2 little spots. But it's 2 spots too many. So there's that. But when the sock was annoying me, I decided to make a rose. Do I need a rose? I do not, but I can make it. That would be better than the way my hair was sticking out last time. So on to cross stitch. I had a new start. This was my Whip Go start for one of my 2 Whip Go starts for this month. The Shepherd by Cottage Garden Samplings. Beautiful snowman. And they have sort of an off-white that's called For All the White. 3865, as we all know, that's not bright white, it's a soft white. But I don't want my snowman to be anything other than bright white. And I was gonna just use B5200 on all of the white, and I decided I'll use that on the snowman. But on the sheep, I'll go ahead and use the 3865. And I know that it has other colors in the snowman to make shadows and stuff, and it'll be all right. I can always use that other white close to those shadows so that it blends. I'll look at it at that time. We're a long way from that. So this is how far I am. Let me put something behind it. So I'm starting on his coat. This is patchwork on his coat right here. So I stitched this part right here 3 times. Because the first time I was off and I was like, why isn't this brown being where it's supposed to be? So I took it out and I went to stitch it again, and I went off of the wrong part here, like down here, so it was way down here. So that's okay. I was enjoying it while I was working on it. I was like, maybe I should just keep, no, I have too many things I have to work on, so putting it away. And then I did some more work on Moonlit Moth. Did I say Moth? Moonlit Moth by counting Puddles. I'm stitching this in the called for threads, which are the Threadworks threads, but I'm adding accentuate blending filaments to make it more sparkly. Let's see if you can even see it. You kind of can see the little sparkles here and there. It's blended all the way through, but so I have to finish putting in the blue in here, and then finish the red and the little tiny bit amount of blue, like red? There's no red. Green, little tiny bit of blue down here. Now there is a itty bitty amount of purple here, and I had put the blending filament up here, and I just decided that his little tail end is not shiny. It's like, do I really need to get out the filament and put it on this? I think it's 6 stitches. I'll think about it and then decide. But I'm really pleased with the way it's looking. I can't wait to do the moon and the filigree on the moth. I'm really happy with the way it looks so far. So, and then I'm trying to put this where it's not going to fall. Luna by Chelsea Haynes of Annie B's Folk Art. And I have started on her face. This is like a Luna moth. This is coming off, but I'm just going to leave it like that. See her little crown. It's a really cute design. It has a lot of these spread around and then the moth in the middle, and she's kind of, has her arms out, flying. But I think it's beautiful. But I was thinking about making the wings glittery and not the rest, since I have all the colors exactly like these Threadworks colors. Oop, I just bonked Rogue in the head. I don't know. Think about it. And then I also worked on, is this right side up? Yes. Hands-on design, the summer basket, triple play pillows, and I am working on this one. And this is where I am. So I didn't get a lot done on it, but I'm only concentrating on it the second half of the month. So I get a lot more. This, there's white in here too. So I've done a lot more than it seems, but not as much as I should have. I'm hoping to finish that this month. I was wanting to finish Narnia this month. This is Stitching Book Club, the Chronicles of Narnia. Also, Sapphire Mountain Handcrafts. See a little Mr. Tumnus there. There's something about this pattern, and I love it. It's beautiful, and I can't wait to have it done. Well, apparently I can, because I didn't work on it as much as I should have. Well, you see how many. Too distracted. But I spent a lot of time not wanting to do anything. So this is where I am now. So every time I took this out and started working on it, I would just go. And then I'd find myself asleep. So I didn't get as much done as I could have. I have been really sleepy lately, and my doctor says, you need to sleep. I wake up at 5 in the morning or something, and I just get up, and he's like, please don't do that. Try to sleep a little longer. But if I'm awake, I'm awake. And then, this is not the last whip, but the last before. There's a big story here. Under the Sea temperature chart, designed by myself for our Etsy shop, Three Sisters Creative. We had 3 days where it was over 100 or 100. 3 days. And then it got cold again. Not cold, but quite a bit cooler. It was only in the 80s today. And yes, I know a lot of you are going, what do you mean only 80s? I think it was 85. Practically a cold front. And I'm going to have to get that. I put it in the new version of this, but I didn't print it. Print it isn't the right word. Export it out for me to put it into the pattern keeper for me to put that turtle. But I want to put it because I think it'll look beautiful there. And as I said, if any of you are working on it with me, I'll be happy to provide that for you. Now, as you know, I've been working on this. This is hands-on design. There's a hare in my garden, and it is giant, right? And as you all know, I did not print out the template, and so I started too low and all that, right? So here I am. I've got quite a bit of work done on it, and you see it's kind of going off the end here. So I decided to go ahead and print out the, I'll tell you why in a minute, but print out the template. It's going to be hard for you to tell with me holding this up, but let me put this point kind of sort of where this point is. Do we see the problem here? Yeah. I didn't cut the fabric wide enough. And the strange thing is that I added 2 inches to the dimensions of the stitched part, but the 2 inches that I added were square, not tilted. So it'll be okay, but, and I don't know, oops, I don't know if you can tell how off it was, but it actually sticks out quite a bit on either side, so, but I'll figure it out. It's just going to be just up here at the very, sorry doggy. Just up here at the very top here. So it'll be okay. I'll be able to fix it. It's just the part that goes under the cap. So thread is sticking out everywhere. But the reason I wanted to print this out was twofold. So I got my fabric in, and it's beautiful. It's Tom and Lily Creations. This is Lugana. I've had it in the bag because I didn't want anything to happen with it, so sorry about the crinkling. Isn't it pretty? Let's see. We can get beautiful. And they sent me a sample of their threads. They feel very nice, very soft. So I may order a color or two that seems appropriate for a pattern in the future, but it just takes a really long time to get here. It's worth it if it's something like, I love that sparkly fabric. I just love it. Now, can I find sparkly fabric here in US? I'm sure I can. But that's what I found when I was on Etsy looking for fabrics. That's what I found. And yes, I can go to other places and look for stuff. I was just on Etsy, and the fabric was very reasonably priced, and including shipping, it was very reasonable. So I even ordered some more, which may or may not be here anytime soon. I don't know. But since I had that fabric, I wanted to print the template that is included in the pattern. But the template is for this berry, not this larger berry. And this fabric is 28 count. I know it's a little oranger, but it looks red in person. Just the light is making it look oranger. Is it this dark red? No, but I'm happy with it. But this berry is 32 count, and this berry is 28 count. This is 28 count. So the template needs to be enlarged. It's set by 14%. So I went to our local mailbox, etc., which is, I could walk to it. That's how close it is. They stood around like this. Can you please just copy it 14% bigger? The person that knows how to do that isn't here. Well, and I said, don't you just put to enlarge? And then that big template, can I just email you the file and you print it out? It says to do this. Meanwhile, they kept waiting on everybody else instead of trying to figure out when do you need it by? It's 2 copies. I need it today. Do I need it today? But no, I was there right then. Like, I want it today. You know what? Just hand me the stuff back. I'll go to FedEx. But the same parking lot as FedEx, there's another mailbox, etc. That one has parking that is not obnoxious. The parking in front of the FedEx shop it's really hard to get into and harder to get out of. Because it's one of those that you park straight on in front of the building, but everybody's passing behind you. And if somebody's parked on either side of you, you can't get out because you can't see what's going on. So I went into that mailboxes, and they printed the big one for me. They figured that one out with relatively little problem. I just emailed them the file. But they couldn't get but they showed me what the problem was, and in order to enlarge it, they had to enlarge it more than what was necessary. So what I need is probably right in here. But Math and I are not friends. So I figured out, based on the size of the original template, what technically it's 114, right, percent would be. But I like it on this stiff paper that he printed on for me. So before I cut into this cloth, I'm going to have to go to the FedEx thing and print it out at 114%. And then I'll hold it up against this and cut it, because I want to keep this one. Shouldn't be this difficult. The printer I have, I can't adjust it how it prints. So how it copies. My sister's like, that's why I don't cut any fabric, and with the big berry. And I was like, you have to, because if you don't, it's so hard to figure out, and you waste so much fabric. You either start too low, you start too high, so it's just really hard without cutting the fabric for me. Because you can do a center start if you have a fabric cut. And so if you have a template like this, you just cut out the fabric, maybe this much higher, this much lower, this much wider. And then you can do a center start, you can do a top start. But the top start, you would need to go down in the middle and know how much room you need to keep here. That's what's nice about that template for the large berry. She has a dotted line where you need to line up the top stitching. So I either do a center start or a bottom start on berries. That way you know where it's going to go, and you keep as much of the top part of the berry as you can. Anyway, that's all I have for tonight. Hopefully, you'll see me at the regular scheduled time next week. No, you won't. Next week is Memorial, and I'm not doing anything. So I may do my video on Monday, probably. I don't know. I may do it again Sunday night to air on Monday. I don't know how many people are going to be watching Flosstube videos on Memorial Day. Hopefully you'll be doing something fun with your family, or anyway, I'll have something that airs then, I think. But I'll see you in a week. And hopefully I can get a template that is the right size. Hopefully whoever comes to view our house tomorrow will buy it. And that I can fix my sock. The dogs were quiet today. They're beginning to understand that if I am doing anything with stitching bags, I get annoyed when they knock over my stitching, step on my stitching, or start arguing with each other. So eventually they'll both be nice and quiet like Rogue gets when I'm filming. Hank is over here snoozing away. He didn't make an appearance today. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Bye.